Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Chris here. It's been a while since I've shot one of these. I had some personal stuff going on that I had to take care of. I'm still taking care of, so that's why I haven't been around. But I wanted to shoot this one and cover a couple of topics that have been going on in the news of late. Obviously, the big situation is the whole Russia-Ukraine deal. I'm going to get into that a little bit. Then I'm going to cover some sports stuff, some baseball news. Baseball's back. I'm going to cover my thoughts on the upcoming season, some of the moves that have happened so far, and what I think my hometown Orioles need to do or are going to do. Some of the moves they've made, some of the moves I'd like to see them make, and just cover that type of stuff and see what happens. Um, After that, I'm gonna kind of go into some other just general thoughts on some things that I've been seeing out there. Um, Obviously, I want to start this off by sending love to Scott Hall. Scott Hall, for those who don't know, pro wrestler, also known as Razor Ramon. Um, he worked all over the place back in the day. He started in AWA, working with tagging with Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect. Worked his way to WCW as the Diamond Stud with Diamond Dallas Page. Um, People don't remember that, but he was the Diamond Stud teaming with Dallas Page. Um, Before Vinny Vegas, him and Kevin Nash became good friends. Went to WWE, became Razor Ramon, known as the bad guy, all that stuff. Had the amazing ladder match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. Um, was the first guy, one of the first guys to jump from WWF to WCW, kicked off the Monday Night Wars, showed up, made it seem like he was coming from up from WWF to WCW. If hey, you want a war, you got one, and he it kicked the whole NWO thing off. He was the founding member, him, Nash, and Hogan. The biggest deal at the time. Everybody was rocking the black and white shirts uh, for life. Everybody was doing that. Everybody was doing the Wolfpack sign. You see people doing the Wolfpack sign now in the Bullet Club, the Too Sweet. That was the NWO that started that. It was not the Bullet Club. It was the NWO. Um, a lot of people have seen me post the for life thing where the guy in the glasses with the mustache is like for life. That's why I do that. It's a tribute to Scott and Kev. Like I love those guys. Um, Scott Hall had like went in for hip surgery over the week a couple days ago. Had a couple of heart attacks due to a blood clot and was on life support. His family took him off this morning. I found out this morning about that. Kevin Nash posted it. Um, as of right now, he's still alive. They pulled the plugs and everything, but he's still kicking. Um, Usually, they're still gonna the person's still gonna pass on once that life support's pulled. But as of right now, from what I've understood of what last I saw, he's still going. Um, I'm hoping for a miracle there. Anyone who loves wrestling or loves Scott Hall is hoping for that miracle. Um, it likely isn't going to happen. So as a lifelong professional wrestling fan, um, I just want to send my love and appreciation to Scott Hall. Thank you for making all the childhood memories and stuff like that. Um, um, you know, much love to you and your friends and your family. All the other fans out here, like myself, who are just heartbroken about the situation and what's going on there. The fact that you're likely no longer going to be with us. And believe me, there are a lot of us who are heartbroken by that news. He'd come back from so much. He had turned his life around and was in a good place, and then this happens, and it's just a lesson that tomorrow's not given to you. You got to grab shit by the horns and make the most of it. As he said in his Hall of Fame speech, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. And he is the bad guy. So Scott, we love you, man. So getting that part out of the way, that was harder than I thought it was going to be, kind of conveying my feelings on. Um, Now to the Ukraine situation. Um, I've kind of kept quiet on that because I've really just didn't want to. It's a lot of like horrible shit, and I didn't want to delve too much into it. But the past week, I've seen just horrible things going on, horrible shit, and I can't, I can't sit on the sidelines. Anyone who knows me already knows what side of it I stand on. I side with Ukraine 1,000%. Um, Russia's completely wrong for what they're doing here. Not even Russia, because most of the Russian people don't want this. This is all Putin. Vladimir Putin's doing this on his own. Um, he has basically ruined his country by doing this. He's become a global pariah. The Russian people are suffering greatly because of his decisions here. Um, the one thing I'm gonna say, if you know any restaurants that are Russian or businesses that are Russian based in the US, don't attack those people, okay? Don't attack your Russian neighbors or your Russian friends because they likely don't support this and they're not behind it. They're not funding it, they're not responsible for it. Like, don't do that. We've seen it happen with people of the Muslim faith during after 9/11. We saw it happen recently with the Asian community with the whole coronavirus thing, COVID. Like people are so fucking ginned up on rage and anger that they couldn't tell different types of Asians from each other and was attacking every Asian person they saw. And it just it wasn't the right move to make anyway to attack anybody who's Asian. But you know, don't do that shit. Be better than that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't do that. Um, Jesus Christ, have some fucking sense. Like, don't attack your neighbors over something someone else has done. Don't attack, like, don't do that. It's not the answer. It's never been the answer. Um, but yeah, Russia's escalating the situation. They're bombing civilian sites. Just yesterday, they fired a rocket that almost hit the border of Poland. Which, if it had gone over, we're in World War III at that point because they're a NATO country, and at that point we have to act. If it hits anything, we have to respond as a NATO country. We have to respond to that. So Russia's playing a very dangerous game, or Putin's playing a very dangerous game, and he wants to. From all accounts, from what I've gathered, he wants to reunite the Soviet Union because he feels like it was one of the greatest failures of his lifetime that it fell. He's an old school KGB guy and all this other shit. Um, if by bringing back the Soviet Union he means the crippling socioeconomic turmoil that led to its fall, he has accomplished that mission. With all the sanctions and everything, like their money sources have been completely cut off almost. Um, just the banking stuff alone, like they're fucked. Like working in that industry, they're fucked. Like they're fucked. That's the only thing I can really say to delve into it. I can't get too deep into it, but let's just say, like financially, that country is Russia's fucked. Okay? They're fucked. There's no other way to put it. It's what needed to happen, and eventually they're going to run out of resources, and they're not going to be able to keep this up. That's why they're escalating. They're escalating right now because they can't keep this going. They're escalating to try to end this as quickly as possible, because if they don't, they won't be able to. They're going to have to fucking withdraw. Or they're going to go on a suicide thing. And here's the thing. Like, the reason why everyone's kind of stayed at bay with him and hasn't beaten him into fucking oblivion is that he's threatening to fire nukes. He's threatened it. He's already threatened it. Like, if anybody gets involved and helps Ukraine, we're going to fire off nukes. We got nukes. We're going to use them. He's already fired shots at nuclear power plants in Ukraine. He took shots at Chernobyl. He's fired at another one. And it's like, this motherfucker's crazy. But my response is, why doesn't someone call his bluff? Like, okay, you know we have nukes too, right? If you fire one off, we respond in kind. Like, you've got nukes, so do we. And what's your point, bro? Like, it's not even like the fact that we're going to do it, not even just, but if he's going to throw that out there, it's like, why don't we pull his bluff? Like, call his bluff. Like, okay, you've got nukes, so do we. Ultimately, he's not going to use them. He'd be insane to do it because it assures everybody dies. And he doesn't want that. He really doesn't. People think he doesn't care about his people. But he does. That's why he's doing this whole he wanted to reunite the Soviet Union thing. That's why he went to Crimea and annexed them. That's why he's doing this in Ukraine. He wants to bring everybody back under the old Soviet Union. He doesn't want to be the ruler of nothing. He doesn't want to be the czar of nothing. Of dirt. Like, he doesn't want that. So that's my thing. Like, it's seeing the bravery of the Ukrainian people, of Zelensky himself, who basically is like, yeah, I'm not leaving, I'm fighting. They're going to have to kill me. They've tried and they've missed. Multiple times already. They've tried to assassinate, take him out, and they just can't get him. And it's almost hilarious that they can't get this guy. They're like, nah, you can't get me. But I'm still here. I'm still fighting you fuckers. Like, it's on, bitches. It's on. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do, brother? Like, he's hitting. He's just seeing, like, the courage of those people. The Snake Island situation alone, where the Russian warship's like, hey, we're here. You know, surrender or we're gonna fuck you up. Russian warship, go fuck yourself. Or the old lady who went up to the Russian soldier with the sunflower seeds. Here, put these in your pocket. So sunflowers will grow where you die. Like, that's who he's fucking with. He thought because they're mighty Russians, that the mighty Russian army is about that life, that they would just go in and take over within a couple days. He underestimated Ukraine because they're also apparently very much about that life and are ready to fight for it, like ready to die for their shit, like for their freedom. It's like, yeah, you thought we were going to just go ahead and go. You thought wrong. And now we're going to fuck you up for it. So it's been like, what, 2 weeks almost? And Ukraine's still holding strong. And Russia's like trying to escalate. And they're like, fuck. The Russian soldiers are like, we didn't sign up for this. This will be a training exercise. Why? We don't want to do this. And they're like quitting. They're fucking surrendering immediately and stuff. Like, I don't want to do this. Even Russian journalists are like, this is bullshit. We don't want to do this. This is fucked up and it needs to stop. All the oligarchs who had their money frozen are like, yo, Vlad, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're fucking us in addition to our money. Stop fucking our money, bro. And so that's where that is. Um, but so that's like kind of the thing there. Again, my support: Ukraine, stay strong, keep fighting, kick his ass, kick Russia's ass. Um, Literally kick their ass back to Siberia. Like fuck them up. Um, so there's my thoughts on that. As I said, baseball's back. The strike or lockout ended last week. One was it Friday, I believe. And as of yet, the Orioles have not signed Carlos Correa, and I'm like, what the fuck? Get this done, Orioles. Yeah, seriously, I don't think they're going to sign Carlos Correa. I want them to because it'd be great, but I don't think he's going to come here. Not when there are other teams who have the money, the same resources we do. Like already the big moves have been um the biggest move so far has been Matt Olson getting traded from the Oakland A's to the Atlanta Braves. I thought for sure Freddie Freeman was going to re-sign with Atlanta, but it looks like they're kind of going in a different direction. He may end up with the Dodgers. Javier Baez signing with the Cubs, leaving the Mets. Um, Max Scherzer going to the Mets. The Mets trading for who they trade for? The pitcher. They traded for somebody. I can't remember who it was. Chris Bassett. Another big move. Oh, Seattle just made a trade for big time trade for Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez from the Reds. Gave up a couple of young talented players there. Uh, Josh Donaldson getting traded from the Minnesota Twins to the Yankees with Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I'm probably saying that dude's name so wrong for Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. I don't know how I feel about that deal. It's a weird one for me because Josh Donaldson was throwing mad smoke at uh, Garrett Cole for being one of the Spider Tack guys last season. And I mean, literally threw like major like smoke at him, like, yo, this dude's cheating like a motherfucker. And he kind of uh, wasn't happy about it, struck him out every time chance he got to see him, which was fucking hilarious. But Brian Cashman talked to Cole already. He was like, yo, I don't care. I just want to win. Bring him in. Uh, Donaldson's like, I'd rather be playing with him than get struck out by him. So apparently they've patched up that shit. Trevor Bauer, still on administrative leave. Um, Granted, given that he was cleared or not charged in that whole situation he was in last season, kind of trying to figure out why he's still on administrative leave because he was cleared of all charges. I don't, I mean, I don't know if they're going to suspend him or not. I don't know if they should suspend him. He literally missed the entire second half of the season from like June on, and he's on leave right now. I don't know if that's fair to him, given that he was not found. He was found. The charges were dropped, and he was kind of cleared. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. The stuff in the article from the Athletic was very very horrible. If it's true he did what he did, it's awful. Apparently, the Dodgers, his teammates want nothing to do with him and don't want him back in the clubhouse. They don't want anything. They don't want him there. But he was cleared, so I don't know how you would handle that. It's a tough situation for them, but realistically, with Max Scherzer gone, the Dodgers need him in their rotation. So I don't know whether he serves any type of suspension from the league. I don't think he should, given he was cleared and they've had more than enough time to investigate the situation. I don't know how I feel about that. Um, but that's just a random thought and all this. Oh, Nelson Cruz signing with the Nationals. I did not see that coming. I thought for sure he would end up going to the Padres or the Dodgers or something like that, but went to the Nationals. I guess he liked living it and being in the DMV area. Remember, he played that 1 year with the Orioles and he had a hell of a season, and then we didn't re sign him. We kept Chris Davis, and we all know how that fucking worked out. It sucked for us, but it was good for him. He made out money in Seattle. He's still hitting at 40, going to be 42 this year. Year younger than me. It makes you wonder what makes me wonder sometimes what would have happened if I'd still be able to play baseball, but I'm not. But that's fine. Um, so there's that. The Orioles finalized the deal with Jordan Lyles. Going to Orioles talk now. So if you don't care about the Orioles, here's where you stop watching. Uh, or stay and just humor me. You've got this far. Humor me for like 5 minutes. The Orioles finalized their deal with Jordan Lyles for the 1 year. He'll be an innings eater right after John Means, number 2 in the rotation, with Zimmerman probably coming up third. I would give Aiken the 4 spot and maybe sign a Danny Duffy to be my number 3. Bring him in with Danny Duffy in. Have Aiken and Zimmerman be my 4 and 5. Or have Luther be my 4 and Aiken be in the bullpen with Wells or Alexander Wells. Or let those guys kind of fight it out. I heard they were going to kind of stretch out Tyler Wells, who was in our bullpen last season, see if he can be like a spot starter, 6 starter, like opener type guy, which I'd be cool with that. I love his stuff. He was a starter in the minors. Rule 5 pick from last season, showed up really good. So here's hoping. There isn't a Rule 5 draft this year, I don't think. I think that got canceled. So we don't lose anybody. We don't get to pick anybody up, but we don't lose anybody either. Um, and then we signed Robinson Chirinos, the catcher, free agent catcher. Hopefully he'll be backing up Adley Rutschman, and Adley will be our starting catcher come out of spring training. The time is now to bring him up. He's ready. Fuck it. It's time. Bring him up. Let him do it. If Grayson Rodriguez starts off in AAA and starts off good, bring him up mid-season. Let him do his thing. It's time to see what we have in these young pitchers and let them fucking fly. That's what it's time to let the young guys play. It's time to let these guys go. Let them rip. Straight up, let them go. It's time to see what he has. It's time to see what Adley can do handling a major league staff. He's going to struggle. There'll be struggles, but he'll probably be the rookie of the year. Optimistic. And with the 16 playoff, the Orioles have a chance to compete more than they did previously. It's just 6 teams. 6 teams make the playoff from each league, so there's more chance or opportunity to win. So you go for it and you make the effort to do it now, or at least you try to put a competitive team on the docket. So that's what you do in this case. So that's just my thoughts on the Orioles there. So just a little bit of a something I said. I talked about doing this like a while back. I think I talked about it on here. I want to do a little bit of a thing called Get to Know Me. It's a little bit of a putting myself out there a little bit. Not that this doesn't already do that. Part of why I'm doing this is because I wanted to get comfortable, kind of find my voice for when I start my podcast with my friends, which we're talking about doing really soon. I talked about it in my first video. Finally got everybody on board. We're going to start working on it. Hopefully here coming up real soon. I can't wait to do this. It's going to be fun, you know? It's going to be fun to do. Why is it something that I want to do? I had a friend in college, my friend John Nadolny. He was a really good friend of mine. Used to talk to him every Monday night about wrestling. He was in a wheelchair, had spinal bifida, stuff like that. Um, I've knew him for the time I knew him, and then one day I get a phone call from his phone, and we all called him Gimp, and so why we called him Gimp, I don't know, but I just said, hey, what's up, Gimp? And it was his dad, and his dad was calling to let me know he had passed away. Um, I was the first person whose number popped up in his phone. He didn't have anybody else's. So I was the one he called. Um, Shook me up when I found out. But one of the things so I had to call everybody and let them know that all of our other friends know that John had passed. Probably the hardest couple of calls I've ever made in my life. Because we all loved him, man. He despite his disability, he was always happy. He was always smiling and joking around. He was always he was always he had his sense of humor. He was great. He always found a way to make us laugh, make us smile. No matter how fucked up our day was, he would say something or do something that would just crack everybody up. He was one of those people that just brought that light every time. And one of the things they said at his funeral was that I was gonna live for him. And hey, if he were still here, he'd be with us on this whole podcast thing. He'd be with me doing this right now. Like I know I would be able to call him up and he'd be a part of this whole thing I'm doing right now where we're just going back and forth and just shooting the shit. Like I'm talking right here. He would be doing this. He'd be with us on it. He'd probably be the one that producing and like chiming in every 5 minutes with something. But that's fine and that'd be great. And it wish he were here to do it. It I miss my friend. And doing this podcast is that living for him thing that I've been talking about. And once I said that to everybody, that kind of got everybody like shit, you're right. Let's do it. And it was almost like that weird part in Terminator Dark Fate for John. But everybody said yeah for John. No, I'm just kidding. And everybody kind of went there. It was just that moment where it was like, yeah, let's do it. So we're trying to just get everybody's schedule straight to where we can do it. And just trying to figure out when everybody's free. And doing a recording and stuff and just kind of editing and all that shit. And obviously once it's there, we'll put it up. I'll post it here. I guarantee it. We're going to put it here. Put it on the YouTube. Again, the battle is for 5 subscribers to get to 10. And then from 10 to 100 to 100 to whatever. But that's the goal here. It's the goal. We want to make this the biggest thing we can make it. And we want to get out there. We want to put everything out there. I don't know what it can be. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but I know it can be something special because, excuse me, all of my friends, we all have our own unique way of looking at things. We all have our unique senses of humor. Um, Most of my friends say that my reactions to certain things are fucking hilarious, but I also have like nuggets of like wisdom in there. Hence all the gray in my fucking beard and goatee and stuff, because it's wisdom. It's wisdom. It ages you. Because I'm in my early 40s and I'm like gray as fuck. When I have hair, I've got the Mr. Fantastic coming in. It's ridiculous. But I've also lived a bit of a life, and that life has been unique. Very unique. And on one of these little videos I do, I'm gonna get into a little bit of it because a lot of it's serious shit. But I'm gonna give you a taste here, right now. At one time, I was the smallest baby born at the hospital I was born in back in 1978. Literally, I was the smallest kid ever born there. I was like 1 pound and like 7 ounces or something like that. Um, I'll have to look at the birth certificate, but I was really really small, and it was really really crazy that I survived. I spent 3 months in an incubator, because I was born premature. But I know, born premature, and now all this. Um, no, I have not. Just to kind of answer a question, some people who know me are probably expecting me to do a review of the Batman. I haven't seen it yet. As soon as I can go, I will go. Or I may have to wait for HBO Max. Like I said, some life things have happened, so I don't have the resources to go right now. I promise you that when I see it, I will give a review, just like I did with the Spider-Man movie. I will do a review, just like with Eternals. I will do a review. Coming up this week at some point, my top 10 villains of all time. I'm letting you know right now, the Joker is not on that fucking list. I will get into why, but don't expect to hear the Joker's name listed anywhere on that motherfucker, because he ain't on it. Okay? So, no, all you Joker fanboys, be ready to be salty. You're going to be salty, and I welcome it. I welcome the salt. Bring that shit. But the Joker is not in my top 10 list of villains. He's not. Sorry about your damn luck, to quote James Storm, but he's not. And I will get into why when I do that video. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that video next. That's going to be my next video. Preview. Stay tuned. Be ready. Top 10 villains in comics. Because I already did the heroes a while back. This is my second or third video. So villains, they're coming. And the whys. So be ready for that one coming real soon. Anyway, it looks like we're coming out of the whole COVID thing. Everybody who did their part, thank you. Those who didn't, fuck you. Because you kept this going for so long and you're still doing your dumb shit. I don't know what to say to you at this point. But looks like we're coming to the end of this thing, and we wouldn't be there if people didn't do the right thing. So those who did, thank you for doing your part and helping end this and getting us back to normal. Because we all needed it. We all wanted it. So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace. Better yet, for life.